Hello, everyone! Under the dazzling lights of Hollywood, where stars constantly reinvent themselves, there are stories that go beyond the silver screen. In this mysterious entertainment world, courageous journeys and truths are sometimes hidden away. Today, we will explore 10 famous stars who have broken gender boundaries, featuring stories you may not have heard before. And the final name will surely surprise you. Leave a comment with the number 1, and let's begin this exploration journey together. When Sonny and Cher welcomed their daughter Chastity in 1969, they likely never anticipated the difficult journey she would face. Growing up in the limelight as the child of 2 legendary artists, Chastity frequently appeared in public. However, behind the scenes, she grappled with her own sense of identity. From an early age, Chastity felt that something was amiss, even if she couldn't fully express it. Although raised as a girl, she never felt connected to the feminine identity that others imposed upon her. These internal conflicts resulted in profound emotional turmoil for Chastity. She attempted to fit into the stereotypes that society imposed on her, yet she never felt like her authentic self. Often she experienced discomfort in her own body, as if she were navigating a life that didn't truly belong to her. As she matured, this struggle deepened. Chastity recognized that she wasn't meant to live as a woman, but accepting that reality proved to be a daunting challenge. It wasn't merely about self-acceptance. It was also about summoning the courage to share that truth with the world. The fear of rejection, particularly from her family, loomed large, adding to her anxiety. For many years, Chastity struggled with these feelings in silence, attempting to uphold the public image that society expected of her. It wasn't until the late 2000s that she made the transformative decision to officially transition. Embracing his true identity, he began presenting himself as Chaz Bono, a name that resonated with the person he had long suppressed. The decision to transition was not made lightly. It was a profoundly personal and challenging journey, marked by moments of doubt, fear, and pain. Even today, reflecting on old photos of himself as Chastity remains a difficult experience for Chaz, as they serve as poignant reminders of the years he spent living in a body that didn't truly reflect who he was. At the age of 40, Chaz underwent significant physical changes, including top surgery, which he reported helped him feel more comfortable in his own skin. He also started hormone therapy, receiving testosterone injections to develop more masculine features, such as facial hair and a deeper voice. These transformations signified the beginning of a new chapter in Chaz's life, allowing him to finally live as his authentic self. Chastity Bono didn't stop at transforming his own life. He became a prominent advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, using his platform to raise awareness and support for others facing similar challenges. Following in the footsteps of his parents, Chaz Bono also ventured into the entertainment industry. Despite the obstacles of being a transgender man in Hollywood, he broke barriers by becoming the first transgender man to play a male lead role in a feature film. He has appeared in popular shows such as The Secret Life of the American Teenager, The Bold and the Beautiful, and American Horror Story. Chaz Bono's journey was not only challenging for him, but also required a significant adjustment for his mother, Cher. Cher has openly acknowledged that she struggled to accept Chaz's transition. For a mother, the shift from viewing Chastity as her daughter to recognizing Chaz as her son posed a considerable challenge. Even now, Cher occasionally finds it difficult to use the correct pronouns for Chaz, but her love and pride for him remain steadfast. Cher has consistently expressed her pride in the person Chaz has become, recognizing the immense courage it took for him to embrace his true self. Jazz Jennings is a name that has become synonymous with the transgender experience, particularly regarding the journey of growing up as a transgender child. She first came out to the public at just 6 years old in a televised interview with Barbara Walters. Even at such a young age, Jazz had a strong awareness of her identity. She was a girl living in a boy's body, which was evident through her interests and actions. Jazz was often attracted to things that girls liked, such as when she borrowed her sister's clothes and danced in high heels. Jazz's sense of identity was so strong that whenever her parents mistakenly referred to her as a boy, she would firmly correct them, insisting that she was actually a girl. She even imagined that a magical fairy would come to transform her body into that of a girl, reflecting her deep desire for her outward appearance to align with her inner identity. Fortunately, Jazz's family was understanding and supportive of her transgender identity. This acceptance helped her gain confidence in herself from a young age and empowered her to become a voice for others in the transgender community. As Jazz grew older, she didn't merely live her truth privately. She also chose to share her journey with the world. Her life was chronicled in her own television show on TLC, where viewers could follow the challenges and triumphs of growing up transgender. Jazz's courage and openness established her as a prominent figure in breaking down stereotypes about transgender individuals. She became a YouTube star and a well-known activist, even being named one of Time magazine's 25 most influential teens of 2014. What stands out about Jazz is her remarkable confidence in herself. When asked how she feels about people judging her, Jazz delivered a simple yet powerful response. "The only opinion that really matters to me is my own opinion of myself, because I define who I am, not anyone else." Jazz Jennings continues to inspire countless individuals with her unwavering belief in self-acceptance and her strong advocacy for transgender rights. Her story is not only a personal journey, but also a broader campaign to promote acceptance and understanding of the transgender community in society. Before transforming into the stunning female model Andrea Pejic, she was known in the fashion industry as Andrea Pejic. Even during that time, Andrea made a significant impact in the industry, not only for her striking appearance, but also because she was one of the few male models who could effortlessly walk the runway in women's clothing. Her bold looks and distinctive style quickly established Andrea as a highly sought-after model. However, behind the spotlight, Andrea faced profound inner conflict between how the world perceived her and who she truly was inside. Growing up, Andrea always felt different, but struggled to fully comprehend those feelings. Born as a boy in Bosnia and raised in Australia, she had to navigate the complexities of identity in a world that often viewed things in simple black and white terms. From a young age, Andrea was attracted to things that society deemed feminine. She often played with makeup and wore her mother's clothes, activities that provided her comfort but also a sense of shame. Andrea was acutely aware that society had specific expectations for how a boy should act, and she understood that she didn't conform to those stereotypes. As she entered her teenage years, Andrea's appearance became increasingly distinct, which not only made her stand out, but also presented significant challenges. Andrea often faced bullying and isolation as others struggled to comprehend her unique identity. Despite these hardships, she found solace in the fashion industry, where differences were celebrated and embraced. Her gender-fluid beauty quickly captured the attention of top designers, and Andrea's career soared as she walked the runways of the world's biggest fashion shows. However, despite her remarkable success, Andrea still sensed that something was missing. She knew she wasn't meant to live as a man. The thought of transitioning had lingered in her mind for a long time, but the decision was far from easy. Transitioning involved not only changing her body but also risking her career and the relationships she had cultivated in the fashion industry. But over time, the need to live authentically became increasingly urgent. Andrea realized that she could no longer sustain a life that didn't align with her true self. In 2014, she made the most significant decision of her life: to transition. This choice was not made lightly, but rather as the result of years of internal struggle and a profound desire to be true to herself. Andrea, now known as Andrea Pejic, embarked on her gender reassignment surgery, a journey that proved to be both physically and mentally challenging. She shared with Vogue that transitioning wasn't as straightforward as simply visiting a doctor and requesting surgery. It involved psychological evaluations, medical tests, and extensive mental and physical preparation. Andrea's career not only survived, but flourished after her transition. She made history by becoming the first transgender model to grace the cover of GQ Portugal. Reflecting on her journey, Andrea often thinks about the struggles and challenges she has overcome. If she could speak to her younger self, she would offer words of comfort and hope, reassuring her that despite the difficulties and confusion, she would evolve into the strong woman she always believed she could be. Andrea Pejic's journey is not merely a tale of gender transition, but also a powerful testament to living authentically and embracing differences in a sometimes unforgiving world. Caitlyn Jenner's life, prior to her transition, was deeply tied to Bruce Jenner's athletic achievements, most notably winning the Olympic gold medal in the decathlon at the 1976 Montreal Olympics. However, beneath the accolades, Caitlyn wrestled with profound emotions that she herself didn't fully comprehend. As a young boy, Bruce was intrigued by his mother's and sister's clothing, leaving him both fascinated and perplexed. These feelings were challenging to articulate, especially during a time when discussions about gender identity were still regarded as taboo. To cope with this confusion, Bruce turned to sports as an escape from the complicated thoughts swirling in his mind. He poured all of his energy into athletics, achieving remarkable success, including winning an Olympic gold medal. However, even after reaching the pinnacle of his career, Bruce's inner turmoil persisted. His life was not solely defined by his athletic accomplishments, but also by his roles as a prominent father and husband. However, unhappiness continued to shadow him, resulting in the dissolution of his first 2 marriages. During his marriage to Linda Thompson, Bruce attempted to share his concerns about his gender identity, but Linda's lack of understanding only heightened his sense of isolation. This feeling of loneliness intensified when Bruce began dating Kris Jenner. Early in their relationship, he made the decision to be open about his past, disclosing that he had been using hormones for the previous 4 years. However, Kris later claimed she was unaware of the struggles Bruce was experiencing, leading to complications in their relationship. Despite the challenges, Bruce and Kris built a happy family and rose to fame through the reality TV show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. As the head of the Kardashian-Jenner family, Bruce became a beloved figure. However, when Bruce decided to transition into Caitlyn, it came as a major shock to the entire family, particularly her children. Although there was initial surprise, the Kardashian-Jenner family rallied around Caitlyn, offering unwavering support and love throughout her transition, demonstrating that family can be a powerful source of strength during difficult times. Caitlyn made the decision to transition at the age of 65, a time when many might consider settling into the life they've built. However, for Caitlyn, living authentically was paramount, despite the risks involved. In 2015, she bravely came out to the world, gracing the cover of Vanity Fair with the headline, "Call Me Caitlyn." This moment not only marked a significant turning point in Caitlyn's life, but also ignited a broader conversation about transgender rights, raising awareness and visibility for the community and society. Caitlyn Jenner, once a sports icon, has become a symbol of freedom, courage, and hope for those seeking to live authentically as their true selves. When considering transgender celebrities who have made a significant impact on society, the first name that often comes to mind is Laverne Cox. Her rise to fame began with her memorable role in the television series Orange is the New Black, where she portrayed Sophia Bursette, a transgender woman navigating life in a women's prison. However, before becoming the accomplished actress and advocate we know today, Laverne's life was filled with numerous challenges, struggles, and an ongoing journey to discover her own authenticity. Laverne Cox was born and raised in Mobile, Alabama, where traditional gender norms were strictly upheld. From an early age, she recognized that she was different. Drawn to things deemed feminine, she faced considerable pain in a community that rigidly enforced gender roles. During her teenage years, Laverne often fell victim to bullying, with classmates ridiculing her for being too feminine. These painful experiences, while challenging, contributed to the development of the strong and resilient woman she would later become. One of Laverne's earliest passions was dance. She adored the movement, the rhythm, and the sense of freedom it provided her. However, pursuing this passion wasn't easy. Laverne had to persuade her mother to allow her to take dance classes. Although her mother was apprehensive about her son engaging in an activity viewed as feminine, she eventually agreed to let Laverne take tap and jazz classes, though she drew the line at ballet, believing it was too feminine. Despite these limitations, Laverne embraced the opportunity to dance and poured her heart into every step. As Laverne grew older, the internal conflict between her true self and society's expectations intensified. In a strict religious environment, she was taught that her feelings were sinful. The guilt and shame became overwhelming, culminating in a moment of despair when she swallowed a bottle of pills in an attempt to escape her pain. Fortunately, she survived, and this experience marked a turning point in her life. Although it took her many years to fully accept herself, those hardships did not deter Laverne from moving forward. Eventually, Laverne left Alabama to chase her dreams in New York City, where she could explore her identity more freely. In this vibrant and diverse city, Laverne began her transition. The process was not easy and was filled with emotional and physical challenges, but it also brought her a profound sense of liberation. For the first time in her life, she began living as the woman she had always known herself to be. Laverne's big break came with the series Orange is the New Black, where she portrayed Sophia Bursette. This role was not only well-written, but also deeply authentic, as Laverne's personal experiences were mirrored on screen. Through this portrayal, she humanized the transgender experience, fostering a powerful sense of empathy and establishing herself as a pivotal figure in the fight for transgender rights. With her expanding platform, Laverne has emerged as a powerful advocate for the LGBTQ+ community, utilizing her fame to educate others about the challenges faced by transgender individuals and to promote greater acceptance and equality. Laverne's efforts have been instrumental in shifting public perceptions, making her a beacon of hope for many within the community. Her message is simple yet impactful. Trans is beautiful. Laverne Cox's courage and resilience serve as an inspiration not only to individuals, but to an entire generation seeking acceptance and equality in society. Fallon Fox's story is a powerful testament to courage, determination, and the ability to break barriers in a world that often resists change. As a pioneer in the world of mixed martial arts, MMA, Fallon's journey was not solely about winning fights. It was about standing up for her identity and paving the way for transgender athletes everywhere. Born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, Fallon recognized from a young age that she was different from other boys. She always felt more at ease around girls, but expressing this truth was not easy. Like many transgender individuals, Fallon struggled to understand herself, particularly in an environment where traditional gender roles were strongly enforced. Fallon's parents, like many during that time, lacked the understanding and resources to help her navigate her emotions. When Fallon finally came out as transgender, their reaction was far from supportive. Her mother struggled to accept the news, while her father insisted that Fallon was simply gay and could be fixed. This misunderstanding resulted in Fallon being subjected to conversion therapy, a controversial and widely discredited practice. The aim of this therapy was to attempt to change an individual's sexual orientation or gender identity. But for Fallon, it was an effort to force her into a box that she never truly belonged in. Despite the pressure from her family and society, Fallon had a profound understanding that she was not a man and needed to transition to live authentically. Her decision to transition was far from easy, particularly since she had to undertake this journey without the support of her parents. Though it demanded immense courage and perseverance, Fallon was resolute in her determination to live as the woman she always knew she truly was. After transitioning, Fallon Fox made history as the first openly transgender athlete in MMA. This was no small feat in a sport renowned for its strict standards of endurance and masculinity. However, when Fallon entered the MMA world as a female fighter, she encountered significant backlash and scrutiny regarding whether she had an unfair advantage over her opponents. Many critics contended that being born male endowed Fallon with more strength than the women she competed against. The most difficult aspect for Fallon was not only the external criticism, but also the shift in how her peers perceived her. Before coming out, she was able to blend in as a regular female athlete, but once her story was revealed, everything changed. People she had trained with for years began to view her differently, no longer seeing her as a competitor, but rather as someone who didn't belong in the sport. Despite the challenges she faced, Fallon Fox continued to fight both inside and outside the ring. She was determined to prove that transgender athletes have a rightful place in sports and refused to let prejudice or ignorance push her to the sidelines. Her story is not just about being an athlete, but an inspiring journey of fighting for equality and acceptance. Carmen Carrera's journey into the public eye began when she competed on the third season of RuPaul's Drag Race. With her glamorous looks and captivating performances, Carmen quickly established herself in the drag world. However, everything changed dramatically after she was eliminated from the show, as she embarked on her transition from male to female. This transition was not only a personal journey, but also presented significant challenges in the public eye. Those who had known her as a drag performer struggled to accept her new identity as a woman. For many, Carmen remained just a man who had once dressed in women's clothing, making it a difficult task to shift their perception of her as a woman. Carmen was determined to live authentically and hoped that by sharing her story, she could help normalize the transgender experience. Her decision to transition not only transformed her life, but also sparked important discussions about language and respect within the LGBTQ+ community. One notable moment was when Carmen spoke out against a controversial game on RuPaul's Drag Race called She or He. She found the term extremely offensive, particularly given the challenges that transgender individuals face. Her comments ignited backlash from some members of the Drag Race community who accused her of being ungrateful. Despite the criticism, Carmen remained steadfast in her beliefs, continuously advocating for a more respectful and inclusive approach to transgender issues. Today, Carmen Carrera is not only a successful model, frequently walking runways around the world, but also a dedicated activist for transgender rights. She continues to use her platform to promote greater understanding and acceptance of the transgender community. Despite the controversy surrounding RuPaul's Drag Race, Carmen has stated that there is no bad blood between her and RuPaul, and that she would still greet him with a hug if they ever met again. Carmen's journey is not only a story of personal transformation, but also a relentless effort to raise awareness and create positive change in society. She has become a symbol of resilience and advocacy, using her experiences to inspire others and fight for a more inclusive and understanding world for the transgender community. Thank you for watching today's video. Stories about transgender individuals are not just about physical transformation, but also about the journey of self-discovery and acceptance. We hope that through these stories, you can feel the power of freedom when living true to yourself. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our upcoming videos. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Let's continue supporting each other and spreading the message of love and acceptance. See you in the next video.